What's up, everybody? Matt here, Hollywood's Garage. As you can see, today we're working back on the Ventura. So my last video I went out and did some full throttle, full pulls, about 3 or 4 of them. And then I noticed like wasn't getting boost. Had like a different noise from under the hood. I mean, this thing is pretty much straight pipe, so it's hard to hear anything under the hood. Brought her back home. Good oil pressure still. No leaks, no on the side of the block, nothing like that. But what I'm thinking it is this kit came with the like the fiber header gaskets, like not the metal ones, Cometic. Anyway, so I put those in. I should have known better, but I did end up picking up a set of MLS gaskets, as you can see here. So we'll end up putting those in. Here's the video here of it, what it sounds like. That's why I think it's a header gasket. Obviously, kind of sounds valve trainy too, but maybe we'll take the valve cover off, turn the engine over, see how that looks under if everything, rockers look all good and stuff. So, but I'm still thinking it's exhaust gaskets. Everything was tight though with those bolts, so there's nothing loose. And I don't see anything on the top that looks like it's I don't see anything on the top that looks like it's leaking out the top of the header gasket. But to start this off, we'll let's do the passenger side, because it should be a little easier. So these V-band clamps were not fun to put on for this crossover. So I'm gonna try to keep this crossover on. And what I'm gonna do is obviously pull the plugs, pull valve cover while we're here too. I'll unplug my fuel pump, or I'll even just bump the starter over with a wire or something. These bolts that I have in the headers are actually from a small block Chevy. They thread in, but obviously they're going to be standard, not metric. But the heads are just too small for the holes. I ended up picking up another set of bolts. Hopefully they fit. So we'll throw those in too. But what I'm going to do is take out the outside ones, put in my new bolts if they fit. If not, I'll just loosen all of them, take all the middle ones out, just loosen those ones up. And then these ones are actually, these gaskets don't have sliders to slide in and out, but I'll just pull it out, rip it out, no big deal. Then I'll put my new ones in. I'll actually cut, if you look, these actually are just holes too. I'll end up just cutting a slot with side cutter, slide them in and out. I'll put some copper RTV on it on both sides of the new gasket so I get the best seal I can. But yeah, let's start with this side. It's a less amount of work, and I feel like I accomplished something tonight. So I'll start with unplugging this, taking off the breather. We'll undo the coil pack, undo the wires, obviously. We'll get that valve cover off. We'll do a quick rollover. Everything looks good. Okay, cool. We'll put everything back together that way. Then we'll do the header gasket. There we go. You guys are going to be my eyes. I'm going to turn it over with a push button inside the car. I already have the fuel pump unplugged. So I just reviewed the video, looking on the back of a little screen. So it looked like all of them were going, so we're good that way. I'll button that back up with the valve cover back on, and then we'll do the header gasket on that side. If that side wasn't leaking, at least I don't think it was, but we'll change it anyway, because you're doing one, you might as well do both. So I got them all out. I got that one loose, and you can see that one's already spreading. I don't know if you can see much, but I can put my screwdriver, no problem. This side's keeping tight. That's how much leverage is on with these V-bands and this crossover. So that's why I don't undo it. Took me like almost 40 minutes to get that one over there on the other side tight, because I did this one first. But otherwise this clamp would be twisted, so it wouldn't be like sticking up. So I'm just gonna kind of try to get my needle nose in there and grab it and just pull up. It is just a paper one, or whatever they call it, but it is getting tricky to, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'll I can get like a little piece of it. just not wanting to come. I might have to come but push from the bottom and push up on it. It's a pretty big header flange, as you can see. I might need 2 hands for this. I'll bring it back. I think I'm all out. It was just too much prying. It was trying to, like, this was tight, that was spread out, right? And when I was ripping this gasket out, a little piece like here was stuck on the other side, on that bolt. I didn't want to leave a piece in there, so that bolt had to come out. I tried a few different things, but loosen up the bean clamp, the V band. Looks like I can get it right back into place. I got it loose enough now to where, you know, all the bolts out. Then I can copper RTV that gasket, and I can slap it in there with the new hardware. The new hardware though is not as long as my 3/8 bolts, so I might have to start it with those to suck it up type thing, and then change it out type thing. Like it might be a twofer type thing, but we're gonna put this on both sides of the MLS gasket. I was told that, you know, one side's got the bump, the other side's flat. The bump goes towards the header. That's what I was told. I don't know. Take that with a grain of salt. That's the way I'm going to do it. But we'll see. There we go. I've never used the ultra copper before, but people swear by it for gaskets. So the point of the MLS, why it's better than like the Cometic or whatever you want to call those other ones, is obviously they can stand the heat better. And then with the copper RTV, it's high heat, meant for exhaust. It'll fill in any imperfections in the valve or in the head or the header. The header's a pretty thick flange, as you saw, so I don't think that's an issue. And of course, every heat cycle you do for the first couple, you go in there and you give everything a little snug again, because heat, right? It'll expand, shrink, it'll change in different metals. The header flange is stainless. The bolts are going to be stainless now. And then the head is obviously aluminum, so that is why. Well, your boy got it all down. Cleaned up the best I could there. As you can see, she is all torqued good and tight with the old Arista-Rooney. So this is how the best way to do a V-band. Give it some shakies. A couple of these. The vibrations help set the V-band together, because you don't want to strip this. Depth blow works the best, because look at that. You do no damage. Learned this trick when I did the other one that I spent like an hour doing because it was in a rough spot. Just takes time. Oh man. Now we're gonna do the fun side, because this one has some dismantling. We'll take that down pipe off to get room, and then blow off, or sorry, the wastegate line there. Not crazy hard or anything, just a couple of V-bands, and obviously no 2 sensor down there. We'll do the same thing. We'll check the valves on these ones. Still got to put the other side together, so I'll do that quickly here first. Then I'll get those down pipes off and whatnot. You guys be my eyes again. They all look good. I bumped it over. No, that far one that was on the base slope, no more wiggle, so put the valve cover back on. You know what, actually I'm gonna keep it off. Seems like it just seems like I'll have more room putting that exhaust manifold back on. I just hope I don't drop nothing in there, if you know what I mean. Okay, also, if you look here, this is supposed to bolt to the hole back here, like right there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that flange is right in the way. Sure would be nice if I had a Dremel that I could cut into that, but that's stainless. That'll be a heck of a time to do. So I've just been zip tying it, but it's obviously not the way to do it properly. Anywhoos, if I would have caught that prior, I would have ground that down with a grinder. Because now I gotta take all this apart to do that, because to get the header out, but we ain't got time for that. So let me zip these off, boop, 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 and hopefully this isn't too bad compared to the other side. Hopefully it's better, it's not the same. There's no stress on it, because I have to take that V-band off. Oh no, get back here. I'll take that V-band off, and that was the fun one. So let's hope, fingers crossed. So don't mind the mutilation at the ends. That one could have been blown out, but for sure that was not me. Totally blown out. That's good to know that that's where the noise came from. These gaskets, even though they're like a metal core, that paper just goes. So note to self, guys, if we're gonna use these, we use copper, RTV, minimum. That didn't last me at all. I've heard reviews of guys talking about it, like after dyno time or during dyno time, brand new installs, they blow out. I even went after like the first couple rides and I was easy on it, retorqued all the header bolts, but still blew out. So I wasn't able, that's why I had to rip it out. So it's spaced nice this time, so I'll be able to slide it in. Problem I'm running into, if I take those two bolts out on either end, this thing is not gonna go back on. So I'm gonna be very careful, and I'm going to sit here and cut the ends so I can slide it on here. So I can just cut these little hole slots. Maybe slide it right on like old school. Well, that was fun. I think I cross-threaded the rear one, but let me tell you what, that was fun. So we got it in there though. This was actually less of a mess with the copper RTV, but like I said, that back one, she went in snug for the last half. Could be just because it's cockeyed or crooked, I don't know. Either way, we got it in. I don't plan on taking it off ever again. If I do, I'll just redo that hole. I got a tap for it, so no big deal. If it gets worse comes to worse, I'll do a speed cert or whatever they call those things. But it's in. Got it covered for the night. I'm calling it quits tonight. So tomorrow, it's not very. I mean, another 20 minutes to get this back together, but I can't start it tonight anyway. It's too loud. It's already like 10:30 at night on a Sunday night, so it'll end up being a little too noisy for my kid and for the neighbors. Well, actually, my kid won't care. He likes it loud, but the neighbors will care. So yeah, and tomorrow we'll just put the downpipe back on. We'll actually, no, we'll put on the wastegate first and the downpipe. We'll just check everything once again, and then we'll just also give the time for the RTV, the rid of the dry. Let's see what the instructions say for dry time here. 24-hour secure. Let dry for 1 hour, then tighten the torque sequence. Well, it probably took me about an hour. No, I took 20 minutes per side to actually get it lined up. So I think we'll be okay. And those are better gaskets MLS. They have that crush sleeve on it, so I think we're good now. The flanges are thick, so they're not going to warp. I mean, I didn't have it that hot. It's not like I'm running friggin' 15 pounds of boost or anything. It's just 7 pounds. So yeah, we'll finish off the night there. We'll bring you back tomorrow. And we back. It's actually been a few days. It's not the next day. Life gets in the way, blah, blah, blah. It was raining all day yesterday anyway, so it's not like I could take the car out anyway, or want to. So today we're gonna finish up installing this unit back to its former glory. So if you remember or not, but my downpipe, when it came down here, my O2 sensor, just rests against my return fuel line. So I do have a heat protector there, but I'm also gonna put this silicone hose. I'm gonna cut a slit down it, put it over top and zip tie it. It's just another peace of mind. It's a silicone heater hose. I mean, that way I know how hot it's gonna get if it melts into it or not, right? So we'll leave that on though. We'll slice it, put it over, zip tie this on. And then we'll finish with our wastegate. We'll put that on. We'll do our downpipe, and we'll put on our coil pack, and then we'll fire it up, and we'll see how she sounds. Hopefully it doesn't sound like that the initial video there in the beginning of the video where I had, I thought it was more than just an exhaust leak, but I think we've got that figured out. Okay, let me get the slit and put this over. It's on. Is it pretty? No. Will it work? I hope so. I'm sure it will. Got my clamp on to my wastegate. This will have to be zip tied, of course, because that hole still never got figured out because, you know, lazy life. So now we are going to do the coil pack. We'll do the downpipe. And then, yeah, we are looking good. Coil pack should be quick and easy, obviously. I only ever use 2 screws to hold it down. They say, some guys will be like, oh, put all the bolts in that hold that coil pack bracket down because it'll ground through there. They don't. They ground through each of the plugs to the coil packs. So they're self-grounded, so don't worry about that. Just put enough in to hold it in tight. Back together. You can see how close that is that O2 sensor there. So that's why we decided to double wrapper. I mean, the single was fine up until this point, obviously, probably for a while, but so let's give her a start and hopefully it goes well. Right on. Just those 2 V-bands, or at least that one for sure. So I'll do some more hammering, some more tightening on that one, now that it kind of shook a little bit and got warmed up. But super happy with that. Literally, what is that? A $15 gasket? And all that work. I mean, it wasn't a lot of work, but it wasn't fun either. And that turbo blanket can beat it. I lost the spring on that one, but it's somewhere in the no man's land. As long as it's not in the belt, I don't care. It can stay down there. It's not on the floor. Okay guys, well, that's it. Sounds great now. No more big loud noises. That little whisper from that V-band. We'll tighten that up and we'll call it good. Well, thanks for watching, and hopefully the next video is me ripping this things on the streets and scaring some babies. Maybe not, just scaring some kids. Later.